Nurture and support. Nurture and support. This is a podcast theme song. And it's really short.
Nurture and support begins in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Nurture and Support, a recommendation podcast. I'm Kelly Toole at KELLYTHUL on Twitter. And with me, as always, and buckle up, everybody, today's the day I sign up for Amazon Prime, so Mel finally wins. Here's our good friend Mel.
It's on sale today only.
$67.
Yeah. I'm Mel at Karmic9 on Twitter. And finally, Kelly joins Big Evil Corporation.
That's right. So, well, Sean Schick, he was around recently, and I bumped into him, and he showed me some stuff with Amazon Prime, and I just wish you had told me something about it, because I had no idea how awesome it was, and if someone had just told me about it, I don't know, he was so compelling and convincing.
Trust Sean to be able to make that big sell. You know, I failed my corporate overlords. They're going to take my Prime membership away now, or make me buy it again. Maybe I should get in on that sale, too, before they boot me.
He sold me with an index finger poke to a face, because he had I think the wire up, and he goes, watch this, and he just hit the screen, and all of a sudden, like, all the IMDb information of all the actors in the scene came up, kind of overlaid on it. And I was like, oh, I need that. So, yeah. Looks cool.
I do not utilize Amazon Video as much as I should, or the free music that you get as a Prime member either. Yep. Yeah.
So this is the last time your mission succeeded. The Amazon Prime directive has swallowed me up.
Woohoo!
But more importantly, we have a guest. And joining us again, our good friend Alicia, our theme song writer, singer, good friend, and been on the show many times, always fun. Alchemy Girl on Twitter. Hi, Alicia.
Hi.
Glad to have you back. We've been doing all sorts of things tonight on Google Hangouts, gang, and just bear with us occasionally.
Things have gotten awkward.
Yes, the video, it's all weird, and it's like not the people. People are cool. It's the technology that's weird. So. We will just give it a go, and if we get a little warble or some funkiness on there, it's just sorry about that, but that's just the way it is. But this is show 94, and I'm going to kick it off with a pretty quick recommendation. And what better recommendation for show 94 than an app called 94%? So 94% is this awesome app that is available on both for Android and iOS. And it basically is a series. They'll throw out things for you like, and pay attention to this, your biggest fears. We're going to come back to that. But like your biggest fears, or water_blank, and sometimes they show you a photo. And for each of those things, you start coming up with terms or things that could match it, or those types of things. And they had done surveys of people, and you're trying to get to 94% of the answers. So if you'd seen, for instance, a picture, one of them, there's a photo of an airplane on a runway, and you start putting in, plane and runway, and there's clouds in the sun behind it, and you put sky, and it keeps coming in on the various percentages. So it's a very simple concept. You come in and you just try and guess either, school was another example. So what are different words related to school? And you keep trying to guess what those things are, and once you get to 94% of the answers, you move on to the next level. Then there's kind of 3 per level. As you complete levels, you get more points that you can use to buy cheats. So if you get kind of stuck, and you will get stuck, you can get something where it'll kind of like Scrabble, kind of bring up the word and maybe start with the first letter, so you know how many letters are in it, and you can kind of keep for increasingly larger investments, start to narrow down what some of those things are. And spoiler, any search on 94% in Google and whatever the theme is will help you out a lot if you really get stuck and frustrated. So, but it's a really fun game. It's a great time waster, and it gives you a headache after a while because you think through. So what I thought, just to demonstrate this, your biggest fears, Alicia and Mel, you want to start throwing a few out here and see how you do?
Clowns.
So that was the hardest one for me to get. I thought you might get it. 5% of the people said clowns, Mel.
Yeah.
Ghosts?
Ghosts, yes. Ghosts, 1%.
The dark.
The dark, yes, 10%. You guys are good.
Cornfields.
Good
like that.
answer. Not on this list, but good answer.
Demons.
Nope. You're
Nope.
missing the number one, but 30%.
Well, I could get real serious and say cancer.
We'll give that to you because that's the other really nice thing about this app is that if had you typed in cancer, it probably would have given you death. And
Yes.
so
Yeah.
if you don't spell well, which I don't, or sometimes if you get a concept close to it, it'll give it to you. So,
Okay.
So we'll give you death, Mel.
Public-
I give you death, Mel.
Public
That's
speaking.
like giving me mercy.
Yes.
Right. And this is an app, or is
This
it a
is an
website?
app. It's
Okay.
an app.
Hmm.
So for iOS, Android, really cool, simple, straightforward. 1 and 2, the big 1 and 2, you guys don't have yet.
Public speaking.
I thought that would be there.
No?
It's not. It's not.
Okay.
Cats.
No.
I know several people terrified of cats.
Spiders? Spiders?
No,
Snakes?
there you go. Number 1, spiders and snakes. So spiders was 30%, snakes 10%.
Oh.
Height. So the only ones that you guys didn't get.
Mhm.
Height, 21%. Sharks, 2%.
People are really scared of
fish.
sharks. That's sad.
And failure, 1%.
Chupacabras
just get
didn't
all-
make the list. I'm really
Did
disappointed.
not. But it's cool. And they know it's one of these things where if you get stuck and you want to buy extra points so that you can do more of the cheats, you can do that. But as you progress through, you earn points so you can use them if you want to. And then if you just totally get stuck, you're a Google search away from solving your problem. So
Okay.
So that's my recommendation. Show 94, 94%.
Awesome.
Mhm.
And we will turn it over to Alicia.
Oh, hello. So let's see. The first recommendation I have, I'm gonna go with an app. This is the Waze app. Whenever I did some more research about the app, it also came up as Wazi app as the pronunciation. However, I thought it was the Waze app. But this is an app that you would use. You would use it for GPS purposes. It's, when you get on the highway for travel. It helps you determine if there is some heavy traffic. You can send an ETA to a friend of yours. You can add friends, so other Wazers, as they're called, to let them know when you're going to arrive. So you're on your way to see, them. It will let them know also if you're late. So, for example, I used it for the first time this weekend. I got caught in a hailstorm, and although it was scary and everything, all was well. But it did let me know that I was coming up against some really heavy traffic. I was going to be about 18 minutes in that traffic. And then also it let me know that I was going to arrive late. The roads turn red to orange to purple, and kind of let you know how that's going. It also identifies any kind of issues on the road. So if there are police officers or something else that you might want to mind your manners when you're driving, that is also there. It's a community-based tool, so everything is reported from other Wazers who are using the app.
Mm-hmm.
I found it to be kind of fun because you can change your avatar, and the more miles that you drive, the more that you use it, you get more choices. So I'm like a little pink ninja, I think, right now, or you can make yourself be a little cat or just all sorts of silly things. And as you're driving, you can actually see different, like other people that have the app can see them on the road. Now, some people say that's a hazard. I mean, try to use it responsibly.
Right.
Of course, don't look down at it all the time. It's just like a GPS. Another really cool feature, you can change the voice. So I just changed mine recently to Stephen Colbert. It's hilarious. I think we all laughed the most when he was talking about our next turn, and he said, "Turn left," and then turn left. And we just started cracking up. It's just fun. So I thought it was a neat little tool, a little bit of social networking, a little bit of highway technology, travel technology, get you from one place to another. It is relatively, I don't want to say it's new because I think it's been around for a while, but I think it's improving with the functionality. What we have maybe not be the best right now, and they're going to keep improving it. So
That's
I
cool.
like
And is that just Android or iOS?
Nope, it's available for now. It's available for any
Any.
system. Yeah,
Cool.
I think it did. I want to say it started though as an Android only,
Okay.
but now it's available for whatever.
Cool. I need
Does
to
it
check
have-
that out.
Yeah, does it have a Christopher Walken voice?
Oh, I don't think so. I will say there's not a ton of celebrities right now. I thought Stephen Colbert was funny. They have things like a British, Simon is the British voice. Jane is just the regular woman voice. So you can kind of change it up a little bit. They do say, with Stephen Colbert, he makes it very funny. Kind of depends on who you choose. But yeah, we could become friends. So if you do have the application, we can become friends on it, and you can just share little tips and things.
Very cool.
Cool.
So yeah, I like that.
That's neat. All right. Did you have another one you wanted to talk about, or?
Yeah, oh yeah, okay. And then the second one I have is, so this is a documentary about David Bowie, and it's called David Bowie 5 Years. I think it's been around for a while. However, I just found out about it. I actually watched it most recently when I was in Jamaica. There was some downtime.
You find reasons to bring that up.
I
I'm starting to
know.
notice that.
So when I was in Jamaica, but it's this David Bowie documentary. I loved it. I'm a David Bowie fan anyway, so it made it very watchable. A lot of footage of musicians that he's worked with, talking about him. He is a musician, but he's also a conductor. I feel like he had these ideas for each album that were there's so much detail involved. It's hard to describe, but each song, like Young Americans, they really put it out there, like each layer at a time. How much effort went into this guitar riff, and then what he added to it, and how he met the people that he met in order to put the song together. So it was just so involved, and I really like it. I think the music geek in me also like to see how he really came from this avant-garde artist to an icon. I mean, he did things that people thought were super weird. A lot of people told him, you will never be a popular musician, by any means. You're putting out music that people don't like. I don't know if he necessarily cared about that. I think he just wanted to present different perspectives. He wanted to try something new. I think he reinvented himself in his style with each album. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. I think you can geek out if you're a musician, or even if you're not. It gives you some really good insight into his life, and what a performer he was. It's amazing.
Yeah. He's a fascinating person.
So, Young Americans, I'm trying to peg about what, because he's had such a long career and kind of different stages in there. So, what were the albums? And so, Young Americans was one. I'm trying to peg the time frame.
Well, and again, with this series, they definitely have it sectioned out, for you. That's very clear. I mean, it even goes into the 80s. It goes into Modern Love, up to that point. I'm trying to think, and it'll go into Ziggy Stardust and his beliefs behind that and how he created that character. So, I mean, I wish I had more like specifics on the exact years, but it's definitely laid out for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him on the Serious Moonlight tour when he was doing.
Oh, nice! Wow. Okay.
That's
really cool. Yeah. I don't think I became as big of a fan until I was not that long ago. I mean, maybe 10 to 15 years ago, maybe. And it's just the melodies, the lyrics, his voice. His voice is just, it's like nothing else. I love how dramatic he is and how interesting he is. So I loved it. I was fascinated by it.
Awesome. Well, I have some Scary Monsters vinyl I can loan you if you ever need it. So
really?
Yes, I do.
Nice. Okay. Good,
Awesome.
good. I'm always looking for some David Bowie vinyl. I have Let's Dance on vinyl.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's my turn. My recommendation this week is another podcast. And I want to, before I tell everybody what it is, I want to thank one of my Twitter friends for actually being the one that told me about this, and that would be Holly Wilson. She's at hwilson2009 on Twitter, and she's always throwing out podcasts that she's come across that she thinks that I would like. And I actually really like this podcast. It is called Lore, Lore. And you can find it on any podcast catcher out there, on the iTunes Store, etc., or at their website, lorepodcast.com. And it's done by a man named Aaron Mahnke, and his last name is Mahnke. He is a writer who I would imagine he came up with the ideas that he talks about in this podcast through research for the stories that he writes. It's basically, to sort of coincide with the topic that Kelly brought up about the 94% and what scares you, that's what this podcast is basically kind of about. So far, all of the episodes are basically things that scare people, and the real life stories that go behind some of the myths that we have built up. It comes out twice a month, so it's bi-weekly. It's true life scary stories, according to him. It's about the people, places, and things of our darkest nightmares that are all based in real facts. And he says the byline for this is, sometimes the truth is more frightening than fiction. So I really liked this podcast from basically the very first episode. It's only been going since about May, and there are 15 episodes right now. They're really very short. They're only running 15 to 20 minutes, and it's very well produced, and very well researched. So the very first episode is called They Made a Tonic, and essentially that one is all about vampires and how the TB epidemic gave rise to more belief in vampires. Apparently, the TB was poorly understood, and people believe that the wasting that happened to people with TB was really because a vampiric family member was feeding off of them. So they did some really kind of crazy things, like hence the title. They took the heart and liver out of a woman who had died of TB and made a tonic out of it to feed to her brother, who was also dying of TB, to try and stop her from killing him. And it ultimately did not work. But
Shocker.
yes. But it was really very, very interesting. And so, really, if you listen to that very first episode, I think it's like 15 minutes long, I think you'll really be hooked. He goes on from there to talk about our fear of the dark, essentially, talking about the Hoosac Tunnel that was built in Massachusetts and had a whole bunch of horrible accidents happen to it, and a bunch of people died, and basically ghost stories that have been going on since then about weird things that have happened in that tunnel, and weird deaths that have happened to people that were associated with it. And of course, he goes on and does one about werewolves, which is always a favorite topic of mine. There's a lot of ghost story type stuff going on here. Scary things in the woods. He's talking about some cryptozoology in other episodes. All sorts of things like that. So I really think most of our group of listeners would really appreciate this podcast. I like it because it is short, it's to the point, and it's basically based in facts. He has done the research and found real incidences of where some of these myths have come about or how they keep getting perpetuated, things like that. And he doesn't ever come out point blank and say, ghosts are crap. If you believe in that, he always leaves the question open. So he always leaves it with kind of a creepy feel to it. It's actually a very creepy kind of podcast. There's one episode that's about asylums, and I haven't listened to that one because asylums freak me out. So I should have listed that on the 94% question of what you're afraid of. I'm afraid of mental wards, but it's really a very good podcast and very well produced. And because of this, I think I'm going to have to check out some of his books that he has a link to on his website. So, Lore Podcast, thanks to Holly for telling me about that one because I've really enjoyed catching up on it lately. So it's good.
That sounds awesome. And I'm in the market for a couple new podcasts, so I think you solved my problem.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's a short one too, and they're enjoyable and creepy. Very, very creepy. So that's all I have.
Excellent. Well, we've gone a little loosey-goosey on our social media recommendations over the past few shows. And
Thanks, Mel.
Now, it's not just Mel, but so I, for one, welcome our lack of social media overlords on occasion as well. But instead, we're going to have we're not going to call it recommendation, we're going to call it a special section we call additional information from our guest. And so for this special additional information from our guest, Alicia, do you have something you'd like to share with the class?
Why, sure. My additional information is that, I'll give you some background. And my husband, I recently got married September 5th, and so he is now my husband. And he's a very famous DJ in Chicago, and he will be even more famous when he is on the television show Nashville on October 14th at 9 p.m. on ABC. He got a little bit part as a DJ, so he's playing a role that he is very familiar with, very good at. We're just really excited about it. So really excited to watch him and see how that all goes.
So this again, the date is?
The date is Wednesday, October 14th, and it is on at 9 p.m. on ABC. The show is called Nashville.
Excellent.
And we'll try to remind everybody of that because I'm going to try to watch that. My mom is a fan of that show. So I will watch it for the first time, a whole episode.
Yeah, well, and I think this is episode 4. I'm not completely sure, but I think it's episode 4. And, I think I'm going to a viewing party for it. So I'm really excited about it, too.
Most excellent.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me share it.
Super.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be cool. So we'll get that out. That'll be out on our blog and everything here at the end of the week. Ample time for people to make sure they mark it. He's famous DJ, and he's bringing families together. Mel's going to be watching the show with him. Says, how awesome is that?
That is awesome.
I try.
Good. Speaking of awesome people bringing people together, we're going to hand it over to Matt in a second, and he's going to tell you all the various ways that you can connect to us, whether it's Twitter, Stitcher, iTunes, etc. Our email account, which I actually checked today, Mel.
Awesome.
So if you do it there, we'll who knows, we might read it. So we'll get out there from there. But he'll give you all the particulars on how to connect with us before we turn it over to him, though. I just want to say thanks for listening, and let Mel and Alicia sign off as well.
Thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week.
Thanks for having me again. It's been a lot of fun. Can't wait to come back again.
You're always welcome.
Absolutely.
You can contact us on our website, nurtureandsupport.net, or email us at nurtandsupp@gmail.com. That's NURTANDSUPP@gmail.com. Or tweet us at nurtandsupp on Twitter. You can also catch Nurture and Support on YouTube. Just search Nurture and Support or Kelly Toole.
Nurturing and supporting Internet.